Who's here? It's me, Kelsey Bell, and I'm here with Todd Sullivan. We're at the Vic downtown in Kamloops, BC. Today we have the privilege to interview a very talented duo. What are your names?
My name is Tyson Ray Borsboom, and I have the pleasure of playing with Nick Winnetoy.
That's me.
That's him.
For this little run here. It's my project, Tyson Ray Borsboom, and just kind of grabbing the most talented musicians that I can every time that I go on tour, and very lucky to have Nick with us on this run.
Were you guys like childhood friends, or how did you guys meet?
Nick, I honestly, in the past probably like year, 2 years, I think I'm just trying to pluck the most talented people that I know in Calgary, and Nick's been on the radar for some time, and he had a pretty free April.
Just lined up. It's meant to be.
Worked out very well. I had a different musician that I was supposed to bring on tour, and then he ended up getting a full-time job in Regina.
Oh, he had to get a grown-up job, huh?
I didn't have anyone to bring on tour, and I was just gonna admit defeat and come alone. And then I posted the tour poster, and Nick was like, "You need some accompaniment," and I was very, very, very happy that he asked.
Very cool. And you guys came from Calgary, right?
Yes, this is our fourth day on tour, and it was Brooks, and then we played Calgary, Salmon Arm, Kelowna, and now we're in Kamloops.
Cool. Aren't we so lucky? And where's the next one?
Next, we have Vancouver, and then we go on to the island for a few days, and then back to Squamish, Penticton, Creston, Radium, Fort Macleod. Am I missing any? That's it.
I think that's a grown-up job too, though. You're pretty busy. Yeah.
Try to be as busy as possible. I mean, touring as much as I can, but try to be home. The girlfriend doesn't love it when I'm on the road as much as I can be, so
you should brought her.
A balance. She has a big girl job back at home too.
Oh,
she runs a restaurant, so that gets in the way.
Yeah. What's her name?
Charlotte.
Hi, Charlotte.
My lovely, lovely girlfriend. Possible soon-to-be fiance. Who knows? I don't know. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. No, she knows. She's just waiting for it. Every day she asks me for a present, so.
Oh, I mean, but lots of girls like ducks too.
Yeah, I mean, the duck.
Maybe that's a way to propose.
There's a different name for the duck pretty much at every show.
Why is he here?
On the last tour, I wanted to have like a mascot. I wanted to try to go into like a secondhand store and find like a fluffy or stuffy of some kind. And I couldn't. We didn't find anything. And I recently found this duck at a Dollarama for like $4.50. And I thought it was the greatest thing ever. It was sitting on my shelf. And then the day before I left, I was like, I'm bringing that duck.
And then he goes in the bathtub.
He does the bathtub. Every single hotel, it's party time. Every hot tub that we go in, he's always in there. The name has changed quite a few times. I think the first one was Billy Bob Quackton, and now it's Post Millard.
Post Millard, that's good. So this is an album release tour that you guys are on.
Yes.
And I'm guessing it's your album.
Yes.
What's the name of the album?
I did it self-titled.
Okay.
There's no cover on it, so I mean, in theory, it's Tyson Ray Borsboom. I released it on like social media and stuff as TRB. It's the acronym, if you will, of Tyson Ray Borsboom. It's a project that I've been working on for about the last 2 years. I released, I don't know whether it's a good idea or a bad idea. I released singles like pretty much all throughout 2024, and then pretty much the end of 2024 released it as an album with like 1 or 2 singles on it. With the modern day, I mean, I'd love to just do an album and release it all at once, or just do the regular like 2 singles or 3 singles, but to give every song like really the room to breathe and the space to have the audience really hear it and listen to it. I thought that releasing a single, I think it was every 5 or 6 weeks I did, and it was honestly really, really well received. It worked really well, and it got a lot of fan base, kind of brought people to shows and stuff. So if it was to do it again, next record, maybe not quite as much, maybe do like 4 or 5 singles and then release the record, but we'll see.
And now with those releases, were they all sort of done and recorded in advance, or were you more releasing them as they were created?
So I think that we probably had 3 or 4 on cue at the beginning, and then it was kind of just like on to the next. So tried to have the song done 3 or 4 months ahead of time before. So yes and no. There was a little bit of a queue chalked up at the beginning, and then trying to have one every once in a while. I think, I don't know, producer, label, or promoter told me once upon a time that having songs in the queue in like Spotify and Apple Music and stuff, it makes you more likely to get playlisted. And I'm not sure if it was the song necessarily or what, but once we made it to the 6th or 7th song, a couple songs did get playlisted. So maybe there was truth to that, maybe not. No idea. Maybe it was the songs, maybe it was the algorithm at work, who knows.
What genre of music do you play?
I mean, I would like to say that it's folk singer-songwriter, blending into like country. But Nick, what style do you think that Tyson Ray Borsboom is?
Soft indie rock.
Good one.
I'll honestly take it.
Yeah.
Early on in my career, I feel like it was a little bit blending onto the country, but I really didn't want to be a country musician. I didn't want to be a country musician, and now I think that folk singer-songwriter, kind of into like an alt country. I'm definitely like singing with a little bit more of a twang these days. My new songwriting has a little bit more of a country spin on it, but the songwriting is still very like folk rooted. Mm-hmm. So kind of having that really nice blend. I mean, I love the new artists to me, I suppose the Childers and Stephen Milson Jr., Coulter Wall, not definitely as like homegrown rootsy country songwriting, but from like an essence of their country, but they're like a songwriter at their core. I think that those are people that I really, really look up to and kind of look up to these days.
How would you describe the difference between country and folk?
The country that everybody like imagines when they think of country is like the mainstream, like you're like Morgan Wallen or something like that. Even like a Zach Bryan. I mean, everybody thinks that Zach Bryan is very like mainstream country, but if you talk to him or see interviews or something, he's like a songwriter, like even a folk artist, like to his core, but that's not what anyone outside looking in would expect. So me saying the distinction, when people think of country, that's like the top 40. You're like Taylor Swift's and stuff. But even the most recent, like Taylor Swift's like Folklore and some of those mixtures that she did with like Bon Iver and stuff. I mean, those are very folksy. I mean, like those albums, but her early on records are very country. So I think that country, when people hear that, at least they're thinking like top 40. You're like Morgan Wallen's, the beer drinking dirt road anthems. And then there's like the alt country or like the Americana, when that's leaning more into like the more truer songwriters, the Coulter Walls, the Tyler Childers. I mean, even like Zach Top. I like love the new Zach Top, but he's also very country. Like he has the twang, but like, I don't know, lyrically, is he very like dirt roads, beer drinking?
Not so much. It's written for radio. It has the tropes that you're supposed to have in country music.
I feel like it has the hooks for country, but I feel like it's like a little bit more true of a songwriter. So I feel like I answered that, not answering that in a very roundabout way. But the folk, I mean,
clear as mud.
That's more of your, Ben Howard's, Donovan Woods, like Hazlitt's a new artist that I really love. I mean, Novo More probably is more in like an indie alternative folksy, but a lot of more like guitar-rooted picking more type stuff.
Okay.
And I feel like lyrically, there's a lot of big differences. I mean, it's tough to say like a love song folk song and a love song country song are two like very vastly different things.
Yeah, I think in country songs their wives are always leaving
it's
them.
all a lost love song.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of country music is written to be like for the people that are listening to it. Like if you go back to the 40s and 50s when they first differentiated between R&B and country, they had pop charts, and then they wanted a racial divide between two different kinds of music, which is what they were doing in the 40s. And so they had R&B music for people of colored skin, they had country music for white people, and that was when country music started. So it's always been pop centric, it's always been for the listener, whereas folk music is more like historical. It has a more inclusive voice, you could say, because it's more of a person's story, whereas country music is more written for an audience. It's something relatable. Like if you look at Zach Top's record, which is one of my favorite records, and like every song's about a relatable trope, my girl left me, or I love my girl, or your truck broke down, or beer for breakfast, or
She's
like
doing it in such a different way though somehow. Like obviously,
Yeah.
you're Morgan Wallen,
and there's like
pop music.
there's a cleverness to country.
Mhm.
There's like you can have lyrical hooks and thing like it should be a bumper sticker. Like
Yeah.
the end of your
That's a good way of
chorus.
looking at it.
The name of the song is the last line in the chorus, and you could put it on the bumper of
Yeah,
your
yeah, yeah.
car. And that's as far from folk music as you could get.
Right.
It's
Neat.
it's just like a different perspective of where the music, who it's for and who it's by.
Right.
Is like country music, it's more important who it's for, and folk music is more important who it's by.
Do you find like when you're writing, do you think about genre much, or do you think just about like what you like to hear, what you want to hear?
I think a lot of the music that I write kind of stems from like what I've been listening to most lately, and I think that that's why a lot of my most recent songwriting has went more in that country realm. A lot of like Zach Bryan, like I said, Coulter Wall, Tyler Childers, Stephen Wilson Jr. A lot of those songwriters I've really, really been enjoying. So no, I don't think so. Thinking about genre when I'm writing, I mean, I think that just like there's a concept that I want to write about, the riff comes out, whatever it kind of pushes in that direction. I think the biggest thing these days is like if I either choose to or make a stylistic choice to like sing with a twang, I suppose. It seems like as of late, I've been doing it more often than not unintentionally. It just feels right, I guess. I mean, I don't know if you guys listened to the song that I most recently recorded and released. It was a cover of a like rootsy country artist by the name of Fred Eaglesmith. So him singing it was very, very country, very, very twangy. So I just like, I loved it so much, the way that he did it, and I couldn't help but sing with twang. And kind of ever since that, I'm just a little bit, you're like, you guys will be here for the set. You'll hear a little bit of the country coming out. There's songs that are a little bit more, songs that are a little bit less, but then there's songs that feel very folky where there's no twang whatsoever, and then the ones that are kind of more like alternative country Americana that have definitely the twang is coming out a lot more.
What are you guys at? What are you guys playing?
Yeah, so I'm doing guitar and singing, and Nick's doing the pedal steel guitar. We've had this conversation so many times. I'm like, am I saying it wrong? Is it a pedal steel? Is it a steel guitar?
You got it perfect. It's pedal steel guitar.
Okay, pedal steel guitar. And so what is that then to the uninitiated?
It's like a really complicated way of playing guitar.
Okay, that sounds fun.
Yeah, I agree. It's like a slide guitar. If you've ever seen one of those lap steels that has like 6 or 8 or however many strings and a little bar that slides along it. And except I have a bunch of strings, and then I have pedals and knee levers that change the tension of certain strings by certain amounts.
Okay.
To make different chords. It's like playing a guitar with just one flat finger and then just changing the tension of the strings to make chords with your feet and knees.
It's the stereotypical like twang country washiness that you hear in the old like 70s 80s. It was very, very standard like in the country western, and that's the sound that you're hearing like throughout the background of all those old country songs. Nobody knows what it is. You can play with a slide on like an upright guitar. There's very many musicians who do that, but to have it like consistent, I mean, it's different. I mean, it's completely different when you're doing it. So you can play it on the upright, but it's a lot more fluid, and it sounds like it has that original like old western country sound when it's the actual pedal steel.
Yeah, there's a lot of guitarists that can fake a pedal steel sound or do an impression of a pedal steel on a 6-string electric, and there's some very convincing examples, but you just have twice as many strings and so many more things you can do with, and you can slide up way more octaves, and it's like a guitar, but there's more.
So did you pursue that because you like the sound of it, or were you more interested in trying to learn something that was unnecessarily complicated?
I had a bandmate back in 2010 who I was joining his band playing drums, and he was like, "Nick, do you play pedal steel?" And I was like, "What's a pedal steel?" He's like, "You just seem like a guy that would play pedal steel."
And now you are.
And then 4 years later, I found one on Kijiji for a good price and picked it up, started learning, and now I've been playing for about 10 years.
Any other instruments that you guys play on?
No, just the guitar. I'm going to be doing the acoustic guitar. I'll be on the vocals. He'll be on the pedal steel. I mean, Nick's a jack of all trades, so we have his bass with us because he's going to be doing a couple dates with Shred Kelly, if you know who that is.
Nice,
He's gonna be
yeah.
playing a couple shows with them. One in Whistler. He just finished some dates in Revelstoke where he's playing a little banjo and a little this, that, and the other. And we're picking up some drums in Victoria because he
Like a whole kit, or
a whole kit. We're gonna pack it right to the brim in our truck and the tour bus. He's like, do you think we're gonna have space? I found a really good deal on this unbelievable drum kit that I want in Victoria, and I was like, we'll make it work. We'll make it work.
Did you go into this tour thinking it might also double as a shopping trip for you, or?
That's how I go into every tour. We do this with Shred Kelly when we tour aggressively. Like, well, we're on Marketplace in the next town we're gonna be, and I'll say to the guitarist, like, did you see that 1950 Strat? He's like, yeah, I saw it. It's way too much money. I'm like, yeah, but it's gorgeous. And so we know all of the things in all the cities.
What is your favorite part about, or one of your favorite parts about touring? What do you enjoy?
Yeah, tough question. I think probably my favorite part is faking it as a full-time musician. Feeling on the road is that I'm like, this is my job now. This is my job for the next 2.5 weeks. I don't have to think about anything else. I'm just driving to the next city, warming up, playing the show, doing it. Yeah. I very close second is like, you get to see the friends in the different cities. Like, you know, a really good friend of mine in Kelowna, doing a little couch surfing, getting to see him for a few days. Friends in Vancouver, and then we get to see people on the island. So I think like seeing friends all over. Yeah, I mean, it's so tough. Making new fans, seeing the fans, playing the shows. I mean, I think that, yeah, probably the first one. Feeling like I'm a full-time musician for those 2 or 3 weeks or month or however long on the road. It's a great feeling. So I'm going to hopefully get to that point eventually that it's always going to be the reality. But then the reality actually sinks in, and then you're scared. Then you're like, oh, this is my only mode of income. Nick knows what it feels like. What does it feel like, Nick?
It feels like that. Exactly like that.
Very, very nerve-wracking. I guess the difference is Nick's a hired hand, so he's just, well, he also has 6 instruments that he knows under his belt. So every time he knows a musician, he's just like, hey, can I come on tour with you? Do you need some help on tour?
I'm triple dipping at like multiple festivals this summer in Alberta.
Oh, really?
It's great. Oh yeah. That's the only way to make it work. Go there and play with 2 or 3 bands and.
I like that.
Yeah, if you're a hired gun, you can just do it. I mean, so there's a singer-songwriter house that we're at back in Calgary. Michael Bernard Fitzgerald puts it on, and he's trying to like book a stage basically at Lilac Fest, which is just kind of our local little summer festival.
I remember that when I lived there. Yeah.
So he's literally
Violet.
trying to like just have like all the Pocono House songwriters playing there like all day long. It's an afternoon festival, so it's I think like 10 a.m. until like 5. And probably it's going to be the same bassist and the same drummer and the same guitarist for most of the acts, and then the singer-songwriter. So nobody, I mean, until you make it big enough, until you sell enough tickets, you're famous enough, you don't really have a band, I don't think. I mean, that's just the modern day. You can't make ends meet unless you're playing with 3 or 4 different acts at the same time. So, but yeah, I love it. It's great.
Good.
And Nick, same question to you as far as touring. Besides being able to go shopping, what do you enjoy?
I was thinking about that while Tyson was answering. I was like, oh no, what do I enjoy about this?
Or do you hate it? I mean, that's fair too.
No, I would get another job if I hated it that much. But
Right.
I do enjoy playing music, and if I played in one city the whole time, people wouldn't come to see me very much. So I do like taking it around, taking it on the road, going to different places. So for me, it's the show. I just want to play the show.
Nice.
And then go to the next place and play the show. Go to the next place, play the show. It feels good to play the music multiple times, get really tight after, like, this is our 3rd show on this run together. But after a dozen shows, you get tour tight, and then you're starting to pick up on each other's cues before they happen. You finish the tour, and you're like, man, we should start tour now. Because now we're good. This is great. We should start it now.
Do you ever find that like you get tour tight right at the end of the tour?
Always, yeah, of course, because you get better every show until the last show. It's always the last one where you're like, man,
I've had that experience in theater too. That it's like
Completely.
you finally get the show done, and everything's perfect.
And now we can't do it anymore. Now it's
exactly,
done. Yeah, like,
exactly.
Got to learn other stuff now. Ooh, I just want to do this more. Yeah.
How old were you guys when you discovered that you love music and you want to do this for a living?
Mine is probably. I mean, I was in a garage band for most of university, and I mean, we were playing rock music and alternative Strokes and Kings of Leon and stuff, and then the folk singer songwriter side started to come out, and I think I wanted to take it more seriously. So probably like 2018, about 7-8 years ago. That was about the point when I realized that I had a university degree and I was working a little bit, and I just kind of kept thinking to myself, like, this is the only thing that I love. I don't want to have a job that just feels mundane and I'm just bringing home a paycheck. At a certain point, you have to be able to make a certain amount of money. But I think that if I could do this live, if I could do it like as my full-time job, it just like I was saying, like I love just like being on tour. The thought of this being my full-time job just makes me feel just peachy inside. So hopefully we get to that point.
Feeds your soul.
Yeah. So probably back in 2018. Ever since then, it's been like the goal. It honestly feels like I was living in Lethbridge and now moved up to Calgary last year, and it honestly feels like that's when I honestly started. But I was like playing tons of shows, still touring back then. It's just once I moved to Calgary, making the right connections, meeting the right producers, it feels like now actually I know what I should be doing. Before it was just kind of like winging it, playing shows, trying not to lose money. And now it's like, okay, I know what to do to tour, trying to like get playlists and get fans and build a fan base, trying to get attention from labels and stuff like that, making connections. So even though I've been doing it for 7 or 8 years, it feels like I've just started maybe last year. I saw a musician or a good friend of mine, Noah Dirksen, he's from Winnipeg. He's made the exact same comments. He was just recently doing a tour in Europe, and he was like, been doing this for like 7 years, but it feels like it's just starting now. I think because it starts to feel a little bit more real. Fans are coming to shows. You're starting to fill rooms. People are singing your songs back to you. Maybe it starts to feel a little bit more real. What about you, Nick? When did you know?
I tried to like finish high school and then jump on the road with a band, and my dad was like, absolutely not. You're gonna do college. I was like, but I want to go in the band. So I wanted to do it since I was like 16, 17. And then I played in hundreds of bands through college. I don't know how. I have no idea how many. I was playing in, I think, 8 at once in Saskatoon while I was working a full-time job and 2 other jobs. And Sass boy.
Doesn't that confuse your brain?
Oh,
fun.
Okay.
I
It would
get
get
confused
boring
easier.
just playing the same stuff.
Oh, okay.
So then I moved to the mountains and played a bit out there in Revelstoke, and then pandemic hit and I stopped doing music because there was no music to do. I actually started programming a festival at that time. I got hired to run a festival in 2020, and so we made it work. And then I was like, I don't think I can program music anymore. I need to do music. I don't want to put on shows. I want to be the show. And I was like, I don't think I can do anything else, so I'm just going to do it. So at 30, I took the plunge after 14 years of being like, maybe I should.
I'm glad you did. I'm glad. It's nice to see people following their dreams.
Mm-hmm. Eventually.
I think a lot of people are scared to follow.
Never too late.
I've only started filmmaking in the last sort of 6-7 years, so it's never too late, guys.
Yeah. And Todd's just 25 years old.
I'm just 25 years old.
Young,
a young
young
buck.
buck.
Paper was very stressful. That explains
That's totally understandable.
appearance.
Yeah.
Absolutely understandable.
Yeah.
We're both 14 years old. Like we're
Yes.
Yeah, this is what the road does to you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Sucks so
I hate to say, so it's 3 minutes to 6.
Okay.
So do you want to get ready for your show?
We should get ready for the show.
Okay.
We should rock out.
So the show starts right now. Get your shoes on and get over here. The Vic downtown.
Vic downtown.
Yep. And we'll follow you up there. We're going to play about 15 or so minutes of your set.
guys.
Got it all going on. Pulling aside, you better listen wide. Oh, wait now, but tell me why. Staying home, singing out, looking on. Gonna keep on running there, oh, I'll get on. And I'll tell you two things, or I guess I'll say, hold your mind, hold me one. Lay on